All right. Good evening, everyone. We are about to begin. Thank you for joining me this evening. Let's see. Others are hopping on and we'll get started right on time. Right on time. If it's your first time joining, my name is Popson Francis and I am your personal development educator, and we're starting our live this evening. Feel free to share the link with someone. All right. All right. Wonderful. Yeah. So feel free to share the link with someone. We are about to start our live as we talk about breaking barriers and limitations in 2026. Not just in 2026, but anywhere, anytime for the rest of our lives. So, again, thank you for joining. And as you come in, please let me know where you're joining from. You don't have to tell me the street or the avenue, but the country is fine, the city is fine. Let me know where you're joining from. And then we are going to get started. Again, we're focusing on breaking barriers and limitations. Oh, I forgot to go live on Instagram. I'm supposed to do that as well. So let me do that. It's loading, it's loading, it's loading. And then we'll get started in just a few. All right. Good job. So we're live on Instagram and we're also live on YouTube and we're live on Facebook. Right. So let me know which platform you're joining from as well. That would be very helpful as we begin tonight. Again, thank you for joining. We're talking about breaking barriers and limitation in 2026. And if you're new here to this space, my name is Popson Francis, and I'm going to tell you a little bit more about me as we come on. So, listen, if you are here, whether you're watching the recording or if you're live, you definitely need to share the link with someone. So, go ahead and share the link. Invite a friend, invite a sister, invite a brother, invite your mother, your father, invite somebody so they can join this conversation, because tonight is the start of a journey that we're going to be taking together. All right. So we'll begin. Again, let me know in the chat where you are joining from. I would love to know, and which platform you're joining from, whether that's Facebook, YouTube, or Instagram. We are live on all three platforms. We see the number climbing. So thank you for joining. Tonight we're talking about breaking barriers and limitations in 2026, not just in 2026, but for the rest of our lives. And I'm going to share with you what I have used in my life to help me surmount some barriers and limitations. And these were holding me back for many years. I'm Popson Francis from Eurique LLC. Hi, Shanavia. Welcome. Thank you, Janiel. My sister is here. Authentically Speaking is here. Tam Tam is here. I really appreciate all of you coming in. My mother is here. My core people, they're here. So do me a favor. Go ahead and share the link with someone. All right. Just take the time, share the link so others can join, so others can benefit. And please, 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 please don't forget to right? Like the video, subscribe to our social media platform. Our handle is Thrive at Eurique. I'm going to put that. Hi, Roxy. So Thrive at Eurique. All right. One. That's our handle on Facebook, YouTube. That's our handle on Instagram, and we're also on TikTok. So you can use any one of those to join our platform. So that's Thrive at Eurique One. That's how you'll be able to follow us on social media. Let's begin. We're going to start. Stay with me. We're going to have a great time, and let's begin. So I'm going to start by sharing. Oh, it's a thank you. Thank you so much. Yes. So Tamsam says, it's a pleasure to be here in the virtual platform. Thank you for joining. I really appreciate it. And Happy New Year to everyone. Hi, Lajam. So here's the thing, right? Even before we begin tonight, there are many of you who have been journeying with me from we started all the way back in 2019, just before the pandemic. At that time, we were called Women Healing Together, right? And so since then, the Lord has laid upon me that I need to expand. While I am very passionate about women becoming their best selves and all of that, I think all of us as creatures of God, as God's creation, we can all heal and we can all grow. And so that's why we are now called Eurique. I know, I get it. Enrique, Eurique. I get all sorts of pronunciation, but it's Eurique. And that is a combination of two words, Eureka, which is Greek, meaning discovering, right? Coming into discovery, and unique. So, Eurique, I coined that. So, it means coming into discovery of who you are. Hi, Cleveland. Thank you so much for joining. Kenisha, everyone, Rose, really happy to have you. So, you ready to begin? Let's begin. I'm going to share a little bit about who I am, why I'm here, and then we'll talk about breaking barriers and limitation in 2026. So here I have the PowerPoint on screen. For those of you who are new to the space, for those of you who are not new to the space, and you're wondering, who's Popsan? Where does she come from? So I'm a personal development educator, meaning I like to, I'm an educator, trained educator. I have a bachelor's degree in secondary education, and I have a master's degree in English language. And I've used those two degrees with the gift and the talent that God has placed in me. I just love teaching and I do a good job at it. I make people excited about learning. And so Eurique is a platform, and I'm the CEO founder of that platform because I just love to see people win. And those who know me personally, you can attest that I'm a cheerleader, and anything I can do to help someone grow, I am all for it. So I've been in the education personal development space for over 15 years. I have conducted over 3,000 workshops. I think it's almost 4,000 now. I was, tallying the other day. I'm like, whoa, that's a lot of workshops. So I'm great at doing that. Love doing seminars. I've worked with government organizations, corporate and educational institutions throughout the world. I'm the creator of the framework I call Cures, which we will talk about eventually, not today. And I'm the CEO and founder of Eurique LLC. For those who are joining us tonight, please put a comment in the chat and let me know where you're joining from, which country, which state, which province. I'd be happy to connect with you. Now, Eurique LLC, just to set the foundation here, because again, this is the beginning of a journey that we will be taking together, not just tonight, hopefully for the rest of your life. We're going to be doing that together. This will become your safe space where you can grow and excel and transform into the person God actually purposes for you to be. So, Eurique LLC, it is a personal and team development service. So we do trainings in the corporate spaces. We do personal development so that persons can learn skill and skill sets, and they can develop expertise and capacity to become their better selves. And some of the things we offer, we do online courses, as we're going to be talking about tonight. No worries. Don't worry. Don't worry, I got you. We do workshops, we do self-growth worksheets, and then we also do public speaking. Hi, Shanique. Thank you for coming. Appreciate it. Welcome, Joan. Welcome, Laurel. Hey, Laura. Oh, Laura. Is this Laura from Arnold Road? Is that you? If that's you, I want to do a big up, right? In Jamaica, we say big up, a big kudos, congratulations to Laurel. You recently graduated. I saw that. And hearts to you for reaching that milestone. All right. So here's the icebreakers. We talk about breaking barriers and limitation in 2026. Okay. She said, same, Laurel. I want you to put in the chat. Think about this. What emoji can you use to represent what has been holding you back? If you don't want to use emoji, you can use words, right? I have some words on screen. So if you can find an emoji that represents that word, let me know. We're talking about breaking barriers and limitation in 2026. If you're new to the platform, you are in tune to Eurique LLC, and I'm Popsin Francis. What has been holding you back? Take some time to think about that. Is it fair? Is it overthinking? Is it just burnout, low energy, lethargy? Is it constraint on time? You just don't have enough hours in a day. Is it people pleasing? What emoji would you use for that? Do you find yourself trying to make everybody happy, trying to please everybody, and that is what's holding you back? Are you feeling stuck? Like, I can't put words to it, Popsan. I don't know if it's fear. I don't know it's overthinking. I don't know what it is, but I just feel stuck. Is it self doubt that's holding you back? Or you could just say, it's me. I have no excuses. It's me. I'm the one holding myself back and I don't know what to do about it. So put it in the chat. We want it to be interactive. I want you to talk with me, right? I don't want to just talk at you. I want our session tonight to be interactive. Take a few moments and think about that. For the things that I feel as if the things that I feel in my life are being barriered or they are being limited. What's causing that? What's causing me to feel stuck? What's causing me to feel stagnant? And I know that some people may be saying, I don't want to be the first one to type in the chat because I don't know. Like, I don't know. I don't want anybody to know what I'm feeling. Here's the thing, we're all experiencing something. Absolutely. Every single one of us. Sometimes we put the best smile on, but we do feel as if we are being barricaded or barriered. So overthinking, fear, and even if the word or the explanation, it's not what's on screen, feel free to put in the chat. What's keeping me barriered? What's keeping me limited? Okay. For me, it could be overthinking, right? Especially when you're used to controlling your dynamic, you're used to controlling the events of your life. Sometimes that can really lead to you just overthinking if all the ducks are not falling in a row or all the things are not lining out the way you expect them to line out. That can really cause you to feel a particular way, like, yeah, things are not working the way that I intend for them to work, and that's fine. We're all in this together. Now, as we think about tonight's agenda, I'm not going to keep you too long. We want to talk about understanding the power of self awareness. It's so powerful. I think so many people underestimate it because it's not something you can go to the store and buy. But we're going to talk about this, right? So, we want to understand the power of self awareness. We want to also preview the upcoming course and journey that we're going to take right here on the live. Yeah, right here. We're going to start the series together on self awareness. So, tonight, it's basically me introducing that to you and giving you a synopsis about how you can start thinking about putting things into practice so that you can break those barriers and limitation. It's not a one night fix, but it's a journey of partnership and a journey of collaboration. And then I'll leave time for the Q&A if you have any questions you'd like to ask me. The Q&A is the last thing on the agenda. It doesn't mean that you have to leave your questions for the very end. You can pop them in as we continue the live. You can pop them in and I'll address your questions. Now, you can stay connected with Eurique on our social media platforms. I have it on screen. So our handle is Thrive at Eurique One. And we are on TikTok, we're on Instagram, we're on Facebook, we're on YouTube, and we're on LinkedIn as well. So we're on 5 platforms, and we also have our own website. So the website is thriveateurique.com. And I'm going to put that up for you just in case you want to visit the website. Here you go. You can scan that QR code. Let me grab the link for you as well. So it's thriveateurique.com. That's our website. Feel free to browse and see if there is anything that you'll be interested in on the platform, on our website, thriveatureit.com. And you can also reach out to us on our call line. We have our WhatsApp business number. You can reach out there, you can send messages, and you can even call us, right? And see how we can partner together. So the QR code is up. You can scan that. And the link is also in the chat for our website. So let's talk about it. In the chat, someone says, feeling like I have to do everything. So the question that we asked earlier, let me go back to that. And thank you for giving me your insights here. What are the things that cause you to feel as if you are being barriered or you're being limited, as we talk about breaking barriers and limitations in 2026 and beyond? So this comment says, I'm going to bring it up for you. Feeling like I have to do everything in order for things to work out best. Oh, wow. You have no idea how much this resonates with me. You have absolutely no idea. Is there anybody else online that resonates with this comment? Feeling like I have to do everything in order for those things to work out in the best way possible. All right, we're going to come back to that. We're going to come back to that. Okay, perfect. So here's the thing. If you resonate with this, especially if you are just good at executing and achieving things, Suzanne says, yes, it resonates with me. If you're good, you know, it's not being conceited. Every single one of us has a superpower where we can close our eyes and we can get things done. I can close my eyes and I can teach and engage, right? I can close my eyes and I can write proposals and I can do worksheets that help people to process their emotions. I can close my eyes and do that. I can close my eyes and I can love and allow people to go and feel comfortable. But the downside to that is because when it's your superpower, you feel as if you're not the one doing it, it can't be done. Is that true though? Right? Is that true? And how can self-awareness cause us to let go of that expectation, to let go of that assumption or even that reality, so we can feel free to do other things and to be other people? Because if here's the truth, right? Here's the truth. God forbid, if I'm going to use myself, I don't want to use you. God forbid, if I were to drop dead tonight, God forbid, the things that I have the superpower for, the things that I'm able to do, would they be done? Hello, somebody. For those of you who have children, let's use this one. For those of you who have children, you had to nurture them. You had to be everything for them. You had to feed them, clothe them, change them. But those children grew up and they are growing up and they are becoming less independent, less interdependent or dependent, but they're okay. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Let's use another example. Maybe that does not resonate with you because you're not a parent. You were in a particular job and you felt, in Jamaica would say, head cook and bottle washer. What that means is you were the star of the show. You got all the things done, but you're no longer in that job. You're no longer in that capacity. Are things rolling on? Absolutely. Life continues. So in self-awareness, these are some of the knowledge check, personal checks that we need to engage in, so we remove those limitations and those barriers. Because if you believe that, hey, listen, if I don't do it, it can't be done, you're setting a limitation and barrier on yourself to pursue things that you would enjoy doing and that you do well at. And I know when you say it, it may come from a place of competence. It may come from a place of capacity, right? Like, oh, yeah, I'm good at this. Oh, nobody can do it but me. But I've learned, especially recently, that life rolls on and you have to roll with the punches and you have to become adaptable. That was a whole spiel, right? That was a whole spiel. But let's continue and feel free to chime in as we go through. So I'm going to move forward. If you want to, if you feel stuck, or if you're feeling confused, or if you're struggling with self doubt or even negative thought, and if you're ready to become a part of a community and space where you are willing to do that inner work, you're in the right space. I tell you, let me sip some water on that. You're in the right space. I mean, if I know the new year has started and people are like, yeah, this is my year. I'm going to get it done. But the truth be told, there's some of us who started 2026 feeling it doesn't feel new, it doesn't feel prosperous, it doesn't feel abundant. I feel stuck. Things are not moving based on the momentum, the trajectory that I had intended, right? And so I'm feeling stuck. I'm feeling concerned. I am engaging in negative thought, but I'm willing to do the work. You're in the right space. Believe you me, and I'm here for you, and we're in it together. So, what is this self awareness that's going to help us to break barriers and limitations in 2026? What does self awareness mean to you? Let me know in the chat. Do you think you're self aware, though? I think that's even a more pungent question for us to ask ourselves. Do you feel that you are self aware? Do you know who you are? Because I'm going to share something with you. I'm going to share with you when my self awareness journey began, right? I'm going to share that with you because I feel there's so many of us walking around feeling that, oh, yeah, I know who I am. But let's move that bravado. Let's move that facade. Let's move that I would say hypocritical confidence or that fleeting confidence and really sit with ourselves and ask, even tonight, as you're on this live with me, like, do I really know who I am? Am I really self aware? Hmm. Put one in the chat. If you feel you're self aware, put one in the chat. If you're like, I'm not really sure, put two. Put two. Yeah, put two. One, I know who I am, Popsan. I'm very self aware. I'm like, I'm at the epitome of self awareness. I'm synonymous with self awareness, absolutely. But if you're like, not really sure, I have doubts. I don't know. I'm a little bit dubious on that. Put two in the chat. And the reason I'm encouraging you, even if you don't want to put it in the chat, but to sit with that question, is because it is the foundation of everything. It is the foundation of every single thing in your life. And so many of us are held back. So many of us are barriered. So many of us are limited because we don't know who we are. And one of the facts that I've learned, and I learned this almost 8 years ago, is that the human brain does not develop until like mid 20s. Of course, there are I would say outliers for that. Some persons may be earlier, some persons may be later, but on average, hi, welcome, right? On average, the human brain does not come into full awareness and not even full awareness, beginning to be like consciously aware of who you are until mid 20s. My intentional self awareness journey started when I was 28, around 29. When I sat with me, not with what others perceived me to be. Are you tracking? Are you tracking tonight? Are you in a position where all your life you have walked in the mold, in the character of who and what people told you that you are? Yeah. Oh, you're this, you're that, and you cast your life into that. But have you really sat down and asked yourself, who am I to me? And when we think about self awareness, most times it is cast in the light of positivity. But do you sit and talk about the areas of development? Yeah. Uh huh. Do you sit in that space for a moment where you can look in the mirror and say, these are the great, fantastic things about me, but these are the areas that I need some development on that. I need a little shaking up. If I go into my Jamaican accent, I need a little shaking up. I need a little truth be told serum about who I am, not from the positive side, but from the area that needs development. I promise you, when you sit in that, not with shame, not with regret, not with guilt, not with excuses, but just sit in that, things begin to shatter that once held you bound. I'm telling you, I've lived it. I know. And there's so many other people who are taking this journey and they can attest. There should be at least one person on this call who can say, there has been at least one moment in my life where I sat in the discomfort of the areas of myself that I don't particularly like or spend time with. And when I was able to confront and address those areas, that things started to shift in my life, because that's where the barrier and the limitation comes in. Here's a fun fact, and you can research it, right? Fun fact. I believe it's a well known fact that our brain, and I posted this on my TikTok and Instagram pages, I think today, our brain hides things from us. What? Yes, our brains hide things from us. All right, test it. We're going to test it right now. You have been up from morning. Do you remember the nitty gritty details, at least most of it, from morning until now? There's no connection issue. I'm just pausing for effect. From morning until this point of the evening, do you remember, if not everything, most of the things that happened and that you experienced today? Not the major highlights of the day, but the itsy bitsy pieces. If you tell me that you remember most of them, I'm like, listen, I need to have a session with you, because I sure don't. I sure don't. And so it's so important that we take the time to come into self awareness, because usually that's where we find the barriers and the limitation. The things that our brain tried to bypass, the things that we want to push under the rug and we don't want to pay attention to it. Okay. I'm heading to the chat. I see you. I see you in the chat. I see your responses. So here's the question: what if you're still under that barrier? How do you break that barrier? There's so many ways, but the foundational way to break barriers and limitation is to be more self aware. What? I I kid you not. For those people who are self aware, doors begin to open. They show up differently for themselves and they show up differently for others. Let me share an example with you. I'm going to share an example with you, okay? So we're putting the pieces together, and thank you for that question, Rose. I learned relatively recently that I show up in the world and express myself as what is known as a choleric temperament. If you've ever heard that before, most times, if not all the time, that type of temperament is cast in a negative light. But that's how I show up in the world. I show up as someone who is in charge, who knows what she's about. If I've never done the thing before, I have no problem jumping in and learning on the way. I'm not easily intimidated by others, right? I don't live in a world where I have self doubt. That's just my temperament. It's what God has given me, and it can also be shaped by other things. So that's how I show up. But here's something I didn't know. And that's why self awareness is so important. Even though I show up as a choleric, I do not respond as a choleric. I express as a choleric, but I don't respond or receive. Let me use the word receive as a choleric. I receive as a phlegmatic. I didn't know that. So when I began to unpack that, so many things became clearer. Some things that I saw as limitations, actually, I could flip the script. So, for example, if I want to achieve something, I go at it. I research, I put the time in, and I go at it. I'm doing it. Good is better than perfect. I'm starting this live. I may not have everything, but good is better. I'm going for it. That's how I am. But when persons express to me, yeah, I show up as a phlegmatic. Meaning, if I do not see the relationship as valuable, I am not going to exert much effort. And some people may say, oh, Pop San, that sounds selfish. And that's fine. What is phlegmatic? I'm going to type it in the chat. Hopefully I can remember to spell it. Phlegmatic, thank you for the question. A phlegmatic is a personality or temperament. Let me use the word temperament type that's cast as more easygoing. Kind of, I don't want to ruffle the feathers. I don't have enough energy. I'll just take it easy, right? And some people may be looking at me now. I know my sister is on the line. We just had a conversation just now. And she may be saying, but Popsan, you just told me you're not easygoing. That's where self-awareness comes in. How I express, I'm not easygoing, right? I'm like, get it done. I want it done. Do it this way. I'll help you do it, but you got to do it well. But when people show up to me, I'm phlegmatic, right? I will weigh the importance of the relationship. I'm going to weigh the importance of the situation. I'm going to weigh the importance of the circumstance. And based on that, I'm going to give it my energy. Can you analyze and see how like mind blowing this is? How dimensionally shifting this is? Because no more do I beat down on myself because I'm not going to go to a party. No more I'm going to beat down on myself because I can't be all things to all men and feel guilty about it because I'm now self aware. If I don't have the energy to do it or the inclination to do it, I step back and I ask myself, why? Why? Is this important to me? Is it a part of my value system? And I'm okay with saying, I can't show up for you in the way that you want me to. I'm fine with that. Right? So we're exploring this. Suzanne Petty says we're twins. That's how I show up also. And there's no right or there's no wrong in your temperament. You understand what I'm saying? So all this time, I thought that I was just overall choleric. And again, Suzanne, I'm going to reiterate. A choleric is a temperament type. They're usually the leaders. They're what people may even cast in a negative light as bossy because they take charge. I don't see myself based on that. I know what I want and I go for it. They are the temperament type that if they've never tried something before, they have no problem just running in and trying it. And if it blows up in flames, it blows up. And if they soar, they soar. And there's so many other characteristics, right? So Suzanne, that's the choleric piece. And then the phlegmatic piece is more kind of low energy. If it's not important, I'm not going to stress over it. I'll choose my battles. Socially, I can retreat and I'm fine. I'm fine. But if you are not self aware and you retreat from the social space and someone says to you, oh, you're antisocial. Oh, you don't like people. Because you're not self aware, you get offended. But if I'm like, okay, I know I'm not antisocial, I'm not working with your labels, I'm just low energy. And this is not valuable or important to me, so I don't have to exert. Are you tracking? Come on, talk to me. Talk to me. I'm giving you Concrete examples. And I love the fact that you're asking questions because we can explore together. So, Samuel, let me know if I answered your question there. Jania, let me know if I answered your question there, right? Because people who don't know who they are, they tend to cast their assumptions and their understanding of themselves on others. And when you are not self aware, you take that on. You either take it on in offense, because how dare you speak to me like that? But if I know what you've said about me is not true, psh, I can hold you accountable, but I'm not going to allow you to spoil my whole day. Back in the day when I was like in my early 20s, I felt like I was a remote control for people. Press on, you walk in the room, I can't stand you, you can't stand me, I'm sad. Press, I know when to make her angry. Press, I know when to make her depressed. And one day the Holy Spirit is like, who is your creator? Who is your creator? Who is in charge of you? Why are human beings in charge of you where they can just show up in your DMs? They can send you a text message. They can talk all manner of things about you, and it blows up your entire life, your entire day. Come on, somebody. Come on. Thank you, Janielle. So, Susan says, I'm not phlegmatic, but I'm self aware. This is a very good topic and segment. Absolutely. And you think that we're going to end this tonight? Nope. All right. Somebody says, I'm both choleric and I'm phlegmatic. Yeah. So you're learning tonight. How do I show up? And how do I receive others when they show up to me? Right? All right. Let's move on. So self awareness, it matters because it's the foundation of emotional intelligence. It leads to healthy relationships. I believe that my relationships have become better because I am more self aware. And because I'm self aware, I can communicate my wants and my needs to others. Listen, someone who is not self aware don't know what they want, they don't know who they are. And so, if you don't know what you want, if you don't know who you are, how can you be in relationships with others? And I'm not just talking about intimate relationship, right? I'm talking about your friendships. I'm talking about your community ships, whatever community you're part of. I'm talking about your workship, wherever your place of employment is. How can you show up for others when you don't know who you are? And how can you expect? Here's an example. Here's an example. So, my husband he likes snacks, but he doesn't like one snack for too long. So he finds a snack that he likes and he will eat that snack for months. And when I go grocery shopping, that's the only snack he wants, nothing else. Then he gets tired of it and he moves on to another snack. And then I've lost track over the years, like, what snacks do you like? And then he would say to me, oh, babe, when you go to the store, can you pick up a snack for me? Which one? Then he says, the one I like. I don't know what you like. I'm using that as, and then people may get offended. Why am I sharing that as an analogy? I'm sharing it because you want people to meet you where you are. You want them to treat you a particular way, but you don't know how to treat yourself. You don't know what you like. You don't know what you don't like. You don't know where you are in your mind, in your spirit, in your heart. You don't know. You're not aware. You don't know who you are. You don't know whose you are. You don't know where you're going. You definitely don't remember where you're coming from. So, how can you be in relationship with others? And some of us, Dimples is saying, speak it. Some of us are constantly in contention with others. Why? Well, it's quite possible that people are contentious and they're a factor, but could it be that you're also a factor? And I know it's scary. It's so scary to look at the things that are not good about you. But here's the thing, all of us has, or every one of us has something or some things that are just not good about us. False perception of self, being unaware of who you are, is the most detrimental thing to our existence as human beings. Bam! I'm going to sip some water. If you're just joining, my name is Popson Francis. I am your personal development educator, and you are in tune to the Eurique Academy, where we're going to take a journey together. We're just starting this journey right now. Yeah? Ouch. Speak it. Can you put that up again, please? Sure. I'm going to put that up again for you. There you go. So self-awareness matters because of these things. Of course, this is not an exhaustive list, but we're going to start with these 4 things. Janiel says, true words. If we don't know ourselves, how can we expect others to know us? I think about a baby. The baby has not yet begun. I have a beautiful niece. She's 11 months and I love her to pieces. She's not talking yet. She doesn't know how to express that I'm hungry. She doesn't know how to express just yet that I need diaper changing, or I need mommy, or I need daddy. She can't say it with words. Especially when they're younger, as the parent, you'd have to try and decipher. Think about being a new mother or a new dad, or a first time mom or a first time dad, trying to navigate that space. That child is not self aware. So the onus is on that caregiver to try and figure it out. And sometimes it's so hard to figure it out. What do they want? Are they uncomfortable? Are they hungry? Do they want feeding? Picture that analogy when you show up in this world, when you show up in community. If you don't know who you are, you can't express who you are. And if you can't express who you are and tell people what you like from what you don't like, how are they going to know? The onus is really not on them. The onus is on you. Let's continue. Let's continue. This is real stuff. So if you're going to define authentic self-awareness, it's knowing your thoughts. It's taking time to sit with your emotions. You're picturing, Vivian? Wonderful. It's knowing your thoughts. It's knowing your emotions. It's knowing your values. I don't want to get too deep in it because this is just the icebreaker for today. And I don't want to keep you long. And I'm almost here for an hour. And I don't want to keep you past an hour. So let's continue. Authentic self-awareness is being honest without shame. Ooh. You know why some of us don't sit with the ugly parts of ourselves? Because we associate shame with those parts. You know why some of us don't sit with those areas that are not desirable? You know why some of us don't sit with those areas that are areas of development? You know why some of us are not honest with our faults? Because we associate it with shame. But you know what I love? You know what I love? For those of you who are Bible believing worshipers of God, the Bible tells us, I can't remember the reference right now. If somebody can find it and throw it in the chat, I'd be most grateful. It's in the book of Psalm, though, where the Bible says that the righteous fall 7 times, but the wicked falls by calamity. Oh, that to me is great news. It means that if you are trying your best, if you are coming into acknowledgement of who you are, because it's not your righteousness, it's not your goodness, it's someone shining through you. And for those of us who are Bible believing Christians, that should be Jesus, but I'm not, I said should be, it should be, then we're going to fall. But when we fall, he picks us back up. And he does not associate our mistakes with shame. But we associate our mistakes with shame. We associate our errors of judgment with shame. If we don't do something the way we expect ourselves to do it, then we associate it with shame. But we can be honest with ourselves without casting shame. Being authentically self-aware is moving. It's moving from autopilot to being intentional. Have you ever felt like life is just passing you by? It's Proverbs. Thank you, honey. Yeah. Proverbs 24:16-18. I thought it was Psalm, but it's Proverbs. Proverbs 24:16-18. Have you ever felt like life is just passing you by? There are 24 hours in a day. 24 hours in a day. And the 24-hour elapses. And you're thinking, wow, time flies. just autopilot. I'm sure there's some of us right here tonight who went through 2025 and we don't know, like, how did it go so fast? There's some of us here tonight. We're thinking, wow, we're in February already. Wow, time flies because you're going on autopilot. We're not being intentional. And the way you're going to be intentional and break those barriers and limitation is by knowing who you are and knowing what you are not. Hello, somebody. Thank you so much, Sue. I appreciate that. Is that Suzanne? Hi. All right, great. Let's continue. So this journey, we're winding things down for tonight because this is just a teaser. This is just a teaser. I wanna take a journey with you. And this is a journey that the Lord has placed on my heart for many years. And I wasn't going about it the way that He wanted me to go about it. And He checked me. He checked me in December, January. He said, this is what I want you to do, but you're not going about it the way that I want you to go about it. So He said, listen, this is how I want you to do it. I want you to give it away. I'm like, huh? I spent hours developing this thing, sleepless nights. What? And the Lord says, I want you to do it. There are people who need it. And I expect you to do it. I'm like, to your will and to your way. Hi, Captain. So I'm bringing it to you tonight. So come February 10th, which is next week, Tuesday, take out your calendars because I'm serious. I'm serious. I'm going to be your coach. I'm going to be your cheerleader. I'm going to be your accountability partner. I'm going to be those things. Come on, take out your phone. Yeah, take out your phone. Go to your calendar app. Or if you're old school and you have a book, take that book out. I'm serious. I'm serious. Let me come full screen on this because I'm not joking. Right? Take out your calendar and I want you to put it in. February 4th at 8 p.m. next week, Tuesday. And you can put that hold in for maybe the next 12 weeks, 10 to 12 weeks or so. Put that in. Yeah. Okay. Why? Why do I want you to put it in? Because this is the year to break the barriers and the limitations in your life. And we know it comes through self-awareness. And so I'm going to teach you about self-awareness. I'm going to teach you what the Lord has been teaching me for 8 years. Yeah, when I started my intentional self-awareness journey, because some of you do not know who you are. And so you cause havoc in your own life and you cause havoc in other people's lives. Okay, so let's do this together. February 4th at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, Breaking Barriers, absolutely, Angeline. Breaking Barriers, 8 p.m. We're going to start this course together. The series. Okay, course sounds hard, Pop San. I don't want any work. All right, fine. Don't call it course, call it series. February 10th. Thank you so much. At 8 p.m. We're going to start. It's going to be every Tuesday at 8 p.m. We're going to take a journey from confusion and being barriered and being limited to being confident and to come into authentic self-awareness. Thank you, Shani. I appreciate that. Noted? Yeah. Okay. We're starting next week, Tuesday. All right. Now, to take this journey, what I'm about to tell you, you don't need it. This on screen right now. I'm going to put it big on the screen. You don't need this. You're still hearing my voice, right? But you don't, but I'm recommending that you get it. That's it. You don't need it, but I'm recommending that you get it. So here's the thing. I have these worksheets that I've created, right? And they go along with the series. I call them the self-growth worksheets. Again, you don't need it. I know you may be on a budget, and that's fine. I respect that. You can still show up next week, Tuesday at 8 p.m., and we're going to take this journey week after week. If you are inclined, you can get this worksheet, right? The contribution is $20 US dollars. That's a contribution, right? And you're going to get 20 plus activities. So each lesson that we do, you're going to have a worksheet that will help you process what we're going to be explaining together. We're going to go through it together. So the QR code is there. And I'm also going to put the QR code on screen. So there's a QR code, right? You have it on the, what's this, my right. And it's also up here, right up here. If you're on Instagram, it's above me. Both things are above me if you're on Instagram. So I want you to scan the QR code. You're going to put your first name. You're going to put your last name. You're going to put your email address because that's how I'm going to email it to you, right? First name, last name, email address. And there is the link to do the payment, right? Click the link, make the payment. I'll see that come in. And when it comes in, I will email you the self growth worksheets. Again, you don't need it, but I highly recommend that you get it so that even after we do the lives, you can sit with the exercises. They're not lengthy, it's nothing for you to research. It's going to be very calming. Yeah, it's going to be self revealing and you're going to enjoy it. I promise you will. I promise. Okay. I promise you will. So scan the QR code now. Oh, let me put the link in the chat as well. Give me a sec. Let me just grab the link. And this is where you're going to sign up to get the self growth worksheets. All right. So I'm putting the QR code up and I'm going to the comments. How do I use the QR code on YouTube? So on YouTube, great question. So on YouTube, the QR code is to the top, what's this, my left. And you also have it midsection on the PowerPoint. Get your phone. Hopefully you're not on your phone, but even if you are, you can take a picture of it. And the easiest way, oh, this is me, by the way. The easiest way is to go to your camera. Where's my camera? All right. The easiest way is to go to your camera. All right. And then just put your camera on the QR code. Yeah. Just put your camera on the QR code. And you're going to see something come up with a link like the form. This is it right here. And you just click on that. And it's going to take you to the Google sign up sheet. I have to be used. No worries. If you're using your phone, the link is on the chat, is in the chat. So click on the link in the chat. It's going to take you out for now, right? But you can come back on the live, right? So again, I encourage you to do that and I'll email it. Now, when I email it, it's going to be encrypted, meaning you'll get a unique code to access yours. Yeah. I'll put all of that in the email. I am on my phone. That's fine. The link is in the chat. Just grab the link from there. Okay. And once you sign up the form, then you'll be able to do that. Let me know how it's going for those of you on your phone. All right. Any other question? Oh, Jania says, so that's $3,000. Is it on Amazon? Oh, yeah. So I also did it in a digital form. For those of you who are more digital and you want it on Kindle, I'm publishing that. That should be ready by the end of the week. Right? So what I'm going to say to you is stay tuned to our social media platform. Now, this is a great opportunity for you to follow us anyway, right? So let me put it up for you. These are social media platforms. Here you go. Let me make an adjustment there. Okay, I've already made the adjustment. So there we go. So you can follow us on Facebook. You can follow us on Instagram, YouTube, LinkedIn, and TikTok. I didn't add TikTok, but you can follow us on TikTok. Our handle is Thrive at Eurique 1. Stay tuned. I will post that for you. So just check that. And you have our number. So if you want to, let me see where that is. Okay, let me big this up. Let me expand that for you. So here's our number. You can send a message or you can WhatsApp. And if you do, then I'll forward the link to you. All right, so you can sign up. So there's so many ways. There's no excuse for you to start this journey. There's no excuse for you to start doing the work. It's going to be about 1 hour on a Tuesday evening. And for those of you who can't make it live, I really hope you do because it's so much better when we're live, right? But if you can't make it live, you'll still have the recording. But please make it live so we can interact and engage as we're doing tonight. So just send a WhatsApp message if you use WhatsApp, or you can send just a regular text message to 631-635-0431, and I'll send you the link. I am aware that maybe you may not be as technologically savvy, and that's fine. It's being self-aware. You can do that. And from there, I can send you the link. For those of you who want to just scan the QR code, you can scan the QR code or you can grab the link in the comments. All right. Perfect. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. All right. So we're good. Did you get what you need? Yeah, you got what you needed for the self-growth worksheets? Yeah, okay. Good. And then the Kindle is coming out for the digital copy. All right. The I'll get the paper back as well, but for now I'll email you the PDF. So we have Kindle. Of course. Is it oh yes, one time. Yeah, you're not paying for the course. We're doing the course together, free. We're journeying together. The PDF one time, that's it, and you have it for life. Okay? All right. Okay, let's continue. Let me go back here. So just to give you a purview or a preview of the journey we're taking in the course, module 1, we're going to talk about an introduction to self-awareness, what informs your self-awareness so you can be more knowledgeable of that. The Lord says that the fear of God is the beginning of knowledge. And then it says, I'm studying the book of Proverbs right now for my personal devotion. And it also says that, listen, child, I'm going to say child, listen to the instruction of your father. That's Proverbs chapter 1. I think it's verse 6. I don't remember quite well. I did it this morning, but I don't remember. It's verse 5 or verse 6. It says, son, I'm going to say child, listen to the instruction of your father. Obey the law of your mother. God has sent so many of us time after time ways that we can break the barriers and limitations in our lives and be our best selves, and not just be our best selves based on what society says and the expectations that society has and the labels that people put on us, but truly being comfortable with who you are even when the world is collapsing around you, and most certainly it is, that you can still feel the emotions but not be buried by them. All right. So we're going to talk about the introduction to self-awareness. Then we're going to talk about emotional awareness. That's module 2. Then we're going to talk about self-reflection and self-talk. Some of us need to check those voices in our heads. Those voices in our heads. Thank you, honey. Proverbs 1 verse 8. Yeah. Child, listen to the instruction of your father and obey the laws of your mother. Right? I'm imbibing that. Module 4, we're going to talk about self-compassion and personal growth, and then we'll close things off. So it's going to be a few weeks journey, a few weeks, because each module has like 3 lessons. We're going to do 1 lesson per week. But here's the thing. We ain't in no rush. No, we're not in any rush. All right. Now, I want to leave this last piece with you. I want to leave this. Thank you, Holy Spirit, because I forgot. This is the last piece I'm going to drop at you. I recently discovered this phenomenon called the Xantum Zeno effect. Let me copy that and paste it in the chat for you. For some of you, may be new. For some of you, may not. It's called the Xantum Zeno effect. For those of you who follow us on TikTok and Facebook and LinkedIn, I posted a video yesterday about this, the Xantum Zeno effect. Let's do some teaching before we go. We're almost there. What's the Xantum? Let me get my notes. The Xantum Zeno effect is a physics phenomenon. It's a physics phenomenon, and I'll define it for you. I'm your self-development or personal development educator. I break things down so you get it and live your best life. So the Xantum Zeno effect, quantum. Thank you. My husband said, you're saying Xantum, it's quantum. Thank you, honey. It's quantum. So the quantum Zeno effect is a physics phenomenon that says when you pay close attention to systems, situations, circumstances, that it slows the system, situation, or circumstance down. That's what it is. In layman's term, I'm breaking it down. The quantum Zeno effect says when you pay attention, you frequently observe a system, circumstance, phenomena, situation, that it slows it down. All right, let me get my notes there. And it causes it to be influenced. Why am I teaching you physics? This is a personal development session on self awareness. I'm going to use an analogy to even break it down further because I love analogies. I do this every day, right? Think about having a pot of water. I should have gotten my pot of water, right? I should have gotten that as my prompt for today's class. So you have your pot and you turn the pot on or the kettle and you step away. And you just turn like one, two times and you hear the kettle whistling and the water is boiling. You're like, wow, the water is boiled already. It just happens, autopilot, bam. It's like, oh, I didn't even pay attention to that. That happens that I miss so much. The water is boiling over on the stove. The kettle boil until the water evaporates and the kettle is burnt up because you were not paying attention. You are not applying the quantum zeno effect. The opposite of that, and you can tell me if I'm speaking truth here and if you're tracking. When you pay attention to that boiling water, right? You stand over the stove. It's like it slows down the process. It's like, is the water boiling? Why is it taking so long to boil? Is it boiling? Why am I not seeing bubbles? Is the pot hot? Is the heat on? It's taking forever. Am I right? Am I right? It's like it slows it down. I don't want you to think about the quantum zeno effect as something that's negative. I want you to cast it in the light of how you can break barriers and limitation in 2026 and beyond. And we're going to apply that quantum zeno effect to self-awareness. Here's a strategy, and you can try it tomorrow. You can try it for up to 1 week until we meet on Tuesday. So I'm giving you homework, and it's not homework for you to go write anything. It's just for you to practice, right? This is how you're going to apply it for self-awareness. In the middle of a task, whether you're going to do that task for 1 hour, 2 hours, 15 minutes, a day, whatever interval works for you. Whenever that time comes, stop. Just stop. You're doing your quantum zeno effect. You're slowing down the process by observing. Have you ever had a situation where you think, I don't know why I reacted that way. I don't know why I showed up that way. I don't know why I did that way. I don't know why I behaved that way. I don't know why I made that decision. That's not like me. Quantum zeno, stop. Don't run an autopilot. Slow it down. Take a pause and tune into the emotion. Why do I have a craving? Why do I crave at this time of the month? Why do I get angry? Do I get angry? Am I just an angry person? Or do I get angry in this particular situation? Why did I feel before I felt anger? Was I disappointed? Did I feel betrayed? Did I feel frustrated? Did I feel sad? And by just sitting in that quantum zeno effect, you're slowing down your situations, your circumstances, you're not going by autopilot. And you may just discover rather, that all this time people have cast me in the mold of an angry person. I'm not angry. Just before I get angry, there's a knot that comes in my stomach. Just before I get angry, it's always the prerequisite, the precursor is that feeling of being embarrassed. Oh, I'm not an angry person. When I feel embarrassed, my emotions rise and I don't know what to say, how to deal with that feeling, so it presents as anger. You mean to tell me I'm not just a walking angry monster? I cannot process disappointment. You know how that changes your relationships? You know how that breaks barriers and limitations? Because before, your automatic system or your automation system would be get angry. But now you're like, no, I'm not going to get angry. I'm feeling disappointed. Okay, I'm going to do some research. Or better yet, I'm going to come every Tuesday with Popsan, right? The personal development educator, and she's going to share with me what she's researched, what she's experienced, and what the Lord has laid on her heart. And I'm going to do some research about how can I process disappointment. Do I need to step back when I feel disappointed? Do I need not to react in the moment that I feel disappointed? Do I need to say to the person whom or the person who has disappointed me, can we circle back on this conversation tomorrow? Can you give me some time to process how I'm feeling? And all of a sudden, you start getting promotion. Why? A miracle didn't happen, but the Lord is teaching you. The Lord is teaching you through self awareness how to show up better. Because you don't get angry and frustrated at your boss anymore. You don't get angry and frustrated at your children anymore. You don't get angry and frustrated at your spouse anymore. At least not in a way that's destructive or right debilitating. Come on now, somebody type quantum zero zeno effect in the chat. That's what I'm going to end with tonight. That's what I'm going to end with tonight. I'm not telling you anything else for tonight. We're going to close off. Let's close off together. Tell me how tonight was. How was it? I'm hearing powerful. I'm seeing in the chat, wow. I'm seeing love you. I'm seeing you are based. If you're based in Jamaica, the payment platform for the worksheet requires a zip code. Since we don't really use zip codes, you can, thank you. You can just put in 5 zeros. Great, great. Good catch. Good catch. So if you are outside of the US, then you can put 5 zeros in and that will process. Thank you. Quantum Zeno effect. Start practicing it starting tomorrow. Any questions for me? Any questions as we close off? Any questions as we close off? For those of you who are just joining, let me put the link in the chat to get the self-growth worksheets so you can have that. The QR code is also going to be on screen again in a quick minute. It's back up. Let me put it in the chat. The contribution is 20 US dollars. Get it so you can have it starting Tuesday. For those who prefer Kindle, it's going to be on Kindle. Hopefully by the end of this week, it's in review. So you'll get that. Amazing, amazing, amazing. We'll try the quantum Zeno effect right on time for us to have this conversation. I'm so happy, so happy. The effect is real. Let's go. Quantum Zeno effect. I feel like I'm a part of a great community where we're going to just grow together, learn together, and be better. And be better. You're transforming, you're thriving through transformation. All right. So let's close off. I don't want to keep you too long. My producer gave me the key, the sign. My husband is like, time, you said 1 hour. It's 1 hour and 6 minutes. So I will start tomorrow with the quantum Zeno effect. Excellent. Keep connected, right? If you are not yet part of our community, you can search for us. You can just type Eurique, that's EURIQUE. Our handle is Thrive at Eurique1. You can find us on TikTok. You can find us on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and LinkedIn. All those platforms, we're there. We're here. Awesome. You've already paid. Great. So here's the thing. I'm going to be sending that growth sheet to you tonight into tomorrow. So you'll have that. All right. Ready to invest. Absolutely. 3,000 Jamaican dollars, I hear, is the equivalent of, we'll work with that. 3,000 is the equivalent of the $20. Not sure if anything, but I'm here. That's all right. That's all right. Start one journey at a time. I will see you next week, Tuesday at 8 p.m. And we're going to do that weekly as we thrive together. Thank you again. Invite a friend. Get your self-growth worksheet. I thoroughly enjoyed the time with you. Thank you for joining. Have a good night, everybody. Have a wonderful night. Self-awareness. That's our goal for 2026. The Lord can do wonderful things with that. He can do wonderful things with that self-awareness. All right, toodles. You don't want to go? You need to go. You need to go bathe. You need to go eat if you haven't eaten. Yeah. Oh, I got the notification. It says yes. Okay, wonderful. I see them coming in. You'll get the notifications are coming in for the payments. So I'll send those to you via email. All right. Bye, everybody. Wonderful evening. God bless you. Thank you. Good night. Good night. Take care. Bye bye. I'm gone. I don't want to leave you, but I'm going to leave. Bye. Oh, share this. I didn't tell you, but share it. Okay. Share it with someone who needs it. Okay. Adios. Au revoir. Me gone. Bye bye.